4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay, so you guys, having rested up in the tavern, bid a fond farewell to old Gregoire. You gotta wonder what he's going to do with himself now that he no longer needs to stand his vigil in that tavern of his. Maybe you'll bump into him along the road north one day to Nurna, where he did say he might head. But for now, he bids you a farewell, and you guys make your way to Caer Enwen. As you travel a bit further north, the climate gets a little bit chillier again as you escape the kind of the oppressive heat of the Empire. And quite quickly, the terrain becomes the familiar locale of Caer Enwen. You see nobody on the roads. There doesn't appear to be much in the way of merchant travel, heading either north or south as you go, but you don't have too much trouble on the roads either. Have only the one moment where Havel spots some eyes staring from the woods, but after a while it turns out it was just a lone mountain lion that thought better of ambushing you lot. So after a couple of days on the road, you wind up at the gates of Caer Enwen, where you see actually quite a bit of activity going on. It seems that there's a kind of a wooden crane over the gatehouse, and it seems to be lifting some quite freshly cut blocks of stone up to the battlements, and you can see that there's quite a bit of activity going on up there. The masonry seems to be getting a bit of a touch up under the watchful eye of Hulrus. Lord knows it's needed doing for a very long time now, but it seems that maybe there's starting to be perhaps a bit more coin in the coffers these days. But kind of putting this aside, the actual courtyard seems to be a little less busy than the last time you were here. The kind of the drill square is empty. There's no sparring or combat, and judging from the lack of noise coming from the barrack blocks, it seems that there's not actually all too many people in this courtyard or the locale. But as you stable your horses and demount, you get greeted by Herodius, who's kind of just strolling across the bridge on his way back to his storeroom. Ah, you're back. Good to see you. It's getting a bit boring around here lately.
That might have something to do with our departure.
Well, do with pretty much everyone's departure. It's not many hunters left here at the moment. They're all off hunting.
How has the business been recently? I'm sorry, I'm ready. Sorry.
That's okay, carry on.
Yeah, I was just wondering to ask him how it's been ever since we broke that first statue of Kovtara. Things have been quite virulent in the wild, so I was wondering if things had gone even worse since then.
Well, it seems that we've got no shortage of jobs coming in. I think Ronfan's beside himself a little bit because we're having to actually turn down work. The new recruits, however, they've been earning their keep. They've been hunting almost non-stop for the last month. But it seems that their training has been put to good use. That said, though, it has made my life a little bit, less challenging. The provisioning becomes a great deal easier without all those mouths to feed around here.
Well, it's good to be back. We've been gone a long time.
And it is good to finally see this lovely bastion. Well met. I am Braxton.
Been here before?
Only briefly.
Briefly.
Now it's definitely different from when you were last here. The stonework is starting to look at least respectable, like it might withstand some punishment, whereas before it had clearly been many a year since it had seen any sort of maintenance. But yeah, you can't notice that he's not really exaggerating here. You see like maybe one or two hunters walking around, but you notice the ones that are here have some injuries of sort. You can see one with an arm in a sling, the other kind of hobbling a bit on the crutch, but seems anyone who's actually able-bodied is out on contract at the moment.
Well, and speaking of Ron Fan anyway, I'm sure we'll make his day. We've got a few contracts worth of gold to hand over.
Well, you definitely got that right. He's already planning our next investments, I think. He's got away with the coin, that one. He's, well, not to big him up too much to risk inflating his ego beyond what it already is, but he's managed to keep us afloat from fairly dire times. I imagine now that he's actually got some coins, he can do some real wonders.
Well, hopefully so.
Anyway, I'll be over in my warehouse if you need any bits of equipment. I imagine you've probably expended a fair amount of resources if you've been away for so long. But you don't hesitate to drop by. Torek, roll me a perception.
That is my least favourite thing to roll. Oh, an unnatural 1.
You completely miss the little sly wink he gives at you after he says drop by if you need any supplies. Completely goes over your head.
Does anyone else see it?
Probably. I mean, you guys are a fair deal
Actually,
more astute than Torek. Yeah.
But we just don't know what it's in relation to, so you just give Tarek a wink.
Yeah.
Or perhaps we think it's better that Torek hasn't noticed the wink. No, Torek.
I love the idea that he saw the wink but just doesn't understand.
If you want something in your eye.
Is it common for humans to contort their face when talking?
So yeah, he kind of bids you all a good day and makes his way over back to his storeroom. So yeah, you guys have the full amenities of home available to you. But as Rulin mentions, you do have some coins to be depositing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Kind of lost track along the way, but I think it's like about 1,200 or something like that.
It's a fairly decent sum, yeah.
I'm sure I've got it in my notes somewhere. 2 seconds.
Wait, Havelot, you meant to be the financial advisor.
No, I'm Titus's financial advisor.
I see, right, okay.
Not the treasurer.
May or may not actually have qualifications.
No, I don't know. Can't find it. Nope, can't can't find it.
Well, tax fraud it is.
Whatever money we've got, well, I kept it all in a pouch, separate from my own gold, so I'll just go to Ronford and hand that over.
Okay, so you make your way over towards the central citadel here. Sure enough, you find Ronford kind of happily jotting away in his ledgers. And again, kind of Pavlov's gnome here, he has come to associate you entering this room to the almost inevitable follow-up act of you placing a large bag of coin on his desk. And you don't disappoint him this time round. Excellent, excellent. Yes, this is ideal. Thank you, Rulon. This will be just what I need to cover the latest batch of expenses. How do you like the new stonework, by the way?
Looking grand, and the KRM when fortifications are looking perhaps like they did originally.
Yes, we'll soon have her back to her full glory. Well, Croc would be proud if he ever gets back.
Well, I'm sure we can update him. We'll probably see him before you do at some stage.
Well, I hope you do. Nobody's seen him since Eventide fell.
Since what?
Wait, haven't you heard?
No.
No, we've been away for a while. We've been south.
We've been in the Empire for a long time.
Well, I guess I hate to be the bearer of bad news then, but Croc's been missing for quite some time. He was last seen with King Gustav's army, but the army suffered a fairly catastrophic defeat at the hands of the dwarves, and last he was seen was amongst all the confusion of the rout. It was, I'm led to believe, quite a chaotic event, but not long after, the dwarves capitalized on that, and they went and sacked Eventide. The whole region's now under their control.
I see. Well, I think we've just found our next contract then.
Well, do be careful. I'm told that they're not really in much of a position to counterattack as of yet, and they'll probably be very suspicious. You know how war tends to bring out the paranoid side of folk.
Well, if he's to be found, we'll find him.
It would be, it puts a lot of minds at rest, I think, if we could get him back. I think it might be worth talking to Aquiniel. He's been trying to put out some feelers with some of his friends in the kingdom. Don't know if he's got anything too solid yet, but it might be worth a check.
Yep, certain. We'll check in.
We have that book for him anyway, so yeah, let's make the matter of urgency.
I mean, it's pretty important, but I mean, we could hit some hotspots on the way, perhaps?
I think perhaps we should make a beeline.
I think Tarek might have something in mind.
I can't imagine what. Tarek, you're being very cryptic. Let's go see Aquiniel.
So, Quiniel's office being in the same building. Doesn't take you long to go and find him. But he kind of looks up to greet you guys as you come in. You can see that he's just set aside a small, kind of polished black stone on his desk. But Tarek, you recognise as a sending stone.
A scroll of sending stone. Did you say?
No, just a sending stone.
Oh, I see.
Well, the actual stone itself.
Very cool.
You're back. I was wondering when you might get here. We've got a bit of a situation.
We've heard about Rock. We came to see you. Led to believe you might have some. Well, anything.
Well, my friends in the court in Bayford have told me, but the army seems to have managed to rally a little bit southeast of Eventide, but I can't find anyone there who's confident enough to testify that Rock was amongst them. I think that we may need to have somebody go and actually search for him. My contacts work on rumour. Obviously, not much solid information has got to the capital just yet, but
We have a couple of things that are likely to take us up in that direction anyway. So yeah, we'll go and look. That'll be where we go. Also, we have a book. There's probably nobody better to keep hold of it than you.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And I'll lift out the book and contraption.
so Triss, you immediately see a very obvious flicker of interest across Sequiniel's face. He seems to be incredibly interested in the containment fields at the moment. Where the devil did you find this?
Do you want the honest answer or the abridged answer?
You know what? Forget I asked. Either way, it's magic like this is complex. I don't know many who could create such an artifact anymore.
That would be because it's incredibly old. Well, we think anyway, judging by the book inside.
His eyes kind of now flick to the tome within. So what's exactly so special about this book? It must be quite important to merit such a case.
Yeah, we certainly think so. Torek, you might be able to explain the contents a little bit more informed than I am.
It covers a well, it is the tome that I've never seen a tome cover the subject of the Tildrace in greater detail in this one. Suffice to say, it could very much be used nefariously in the wrong hands to track down the Tildrace sites where the bindings of Kovtara may be kept.
I see, yes, that definitely could be used poorly. Well, you keep this with me, I'll see if I can't make something more of it. I'll maybe contact a few of my, shall we say, better connected friends and see if they might have heard of something similar. I'll be discreet, obviously.
We weren't the only people looking for it. We had rather a job of getting it away, in fact.
No, I imagine a book like this would be very valuable to a lot of people. My friends and colleagues at my academy training, they would have loved that. One thing you can count on with mages, we are a fairly curious bunch. But anyway, I will keep it in my own personal library, so rest assured. it will not go missing.
There is perhaps something else you should be keeping in your library also.
Oh?
Willem will take out Thoramok's book of demon summoning.
So this one he again kind of takes from you and has a quick browse, maybe flick through a page or two. Sigils, diagrams. Yep, this looks like a ritual book. I've seen a few like it, but I must say demonology isn't really my field of expertise. But I can keep it safe for you, of course.
Yes, I wouldn't like the idea of it falling into enemy hands again.
No, well, it's probably best that it doesn't fall into any hands at the moment. Best not to delve with things that
Yes.
well, should we say, fairly unfortunate happenings.
I very much agree with that sentiment. I'm very sick of killing demons at this point.
Quizzical look, but he just shrugs as if to say, "Well, that's Torek for you." And you see him reach for his drawers in the desk and pull a key out, with which he opens the back room to his library. After a few minutes, you see him come out. Right, that's all securely locked away. That should hopefully do the trick. Please, I'll get on to my friends. Hopefully, I should have an answer before tomorrow, and we can maybe see if make your search a little bit easier.
Well, we'll suppose start preparing ourselves to be heading off again.
Aside from Haruk, is there anybody in the camp we should be looking out for? Maybe some sort of general who may know more what's going on?
Well, as far as I can tell, most of the generals weren't actually present at the battlefield. I think largely that's what kept many of them alive. But from what I can gather, the court itself is fairly confident that the king and his closest advisors are alive, well, and accounted for. But you might find maybe stragglers from that army that may well be wounded, making their way back. It's again quite a chaotic affair. I don't think there are any real clear boundaries at this stage. Just be careful, because I imagine there will be many scout parties out for both sides.
Noted. Thank you.
Okay, so so it's still at this point about midday-ish, so you don't have to get to bed straight away. Obviously, after a while on the road, now is a good chance to stock up on stuff, especially with the kind of guaranteed quality that these well-known craftsmen to you can offer. I mean, they've got a good reputation for a reason. But yeah, it's up to you guys. You've got everything in KRM at your disposal again.
Okay, well, we need to restock, fill up on traveling gear, etc.
I think I could make more walloping ammunition. And I glance a small smile towards Havel.
Funnily, Havel's actually had walloping ammunition, like parts, for fucking ages.
Oh, right, so you just need me to put it together.
Yeah, we bought them ages ago, but then you'd swapped it out for something else. I don't
Oh
know,
mate.
ammunition for 5 of them.
I've taken it back at level 10 actually.
No idea what that does, but okay.
Well, at every level up I get to change an infusion I already know.
Alright, change. Fair.
So for instance, at my most recent level up I gave up the ability to enhance weapons. And I've instead well, you'll see.
I like to imagine that this changing of infusions that he knows is just Torek like rediscovering pages in his notebook that he'd previously like missed because they were like stuck together with chemicals or something.
Yeah. The kind of knowledge is so fluid that he forgets one thing as he remembers something else as well.
Yeah.
He's already reached his maximum storage capacity. He just has to overwrite stuff as he goes.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that phrase. He's forgotten more about it than you'll ever know. Well, Torek's forgotten more about it than he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Torek trying to learn a spell. Allocating disk space.
Read-only memory, yeah.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, if you you'd definitely be able to buy some ammunition and supplies while you're here. Tarek is something else you probably need to buy now that the effects are starting to make himself a little bit more noticeable now.
Yeah, I feel I may need.
You've done pretty well so far. You've kept it together on the road without the mention of buying supplies. You just get a little bit of a twitch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need to buy some more drugs, essentially. God, how much am I willing to spend on drugs? I'll tell you what, Crispy, I think I'm going to go... First, I'm going to try and go and get some better studded leather armor. I'd like to try and get some, like, +1 studded leather, you know, just as, like, a small upgrade.
Okay, so you head over to Dolasar's workshop. You can kind of hear the clinking of tools and a conversation going on. And as you round the corner, you can kind of see Dolasar having a bit of an argument with Vulvaria.
Can I chase after, by the way?
Yeah, sure. So Titus has obviously mentioned before that quite a skilled armor in her tribe. It seems, however, that the way Goliaths manufacture armor and the way smaller folk manufacture armor, there's clearly a difference there, and that seems to be causing a bit of friction here. Though you can't just put more hide on it. It doesn't work like that. We need extra reinforcements. The seams will give otherwise. It is because the hide is weak. We can fix this. Get me a mammoth hide. I will make your armor good. Wait, we don't have mammoths this far south. Look, it's good quality. I've made sure of that. Trust me, I only work with the best cured leather that the kingdom can provide.
Nah,
They realise that you entered the shop.
Yeah,
sorry, Tris. You're back. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Tris? Oh, when did you start following me?
Just recently. Don't worry, Tarek. No questions yet.
God, you're quiet for someone so tall.
I'm really not. Guess
You are to Tarek. Even though, like, you're the second shortest of the party, I bet.
Yeah, I'm literally 5'0".
Which is still a good deal taller than Tarek. Well, I'm guessing I can probably help you if you come to my my shop.
Yes, it seems that my armor has seen a better day. So as you can see, it's got burn marks, many acid burns. This one was from an arena. I was fighting a devil wizard.
I see. And he kind of casts a knowing eye over your armor and goes kind of flicks over the scars that you've mentioned on it. Well, it's holding up remarkably well, but I can definitely provide you with something a little bit better. I'm assuming that's what you're after.
Oh, it certainly is.
Well, do you have anything particular in mind?
Just something a bit more durable, maybe more studs, more space, more freedom among the shoulders, so I can attach certain gizmos to myself and whatnot.
He kind of pauses a moment, and you can see there's definitely, a plan coming together in his head. I think I can arrange that. I've got some pre-made suits ready, but to be honest, I would have needed to customize it anyway for your stature, so it shouldn't be too hard to work in. It's a bit of extra wriggle room for you. Yes, I think that would be very possible. Again, you can already see the thoughts drifting off. Hey, but how will you make this with no good mammoth leather? Oh yeah, we've been over this. Don't mind her. She's clearly not all too familiar with the leathers we use down in the southern lands, as she would say. But,
yes.
Imagine Torek carrying around mammoth leather. Be a whole job into
Just
it.
checking my inventory, and he snaps his finger and goes, I did have some aberration body parts. That may have made some good flexible leather. Oh, that's a shame.
Yes, well, she's confident that she can work with pretty much any leather, even the ones that would traditionally be fairly unsuitable. So, I think between us, we might eventually work out a system of new armor quite effective. But well, she's still new here, and I have to teach her the finer points. But yes, maybe if you do come across anything in the future that looks like it might have a particularly thick or resilient hide, it might be worth securing some. It might be able to work for you.
Yes, I'll be sure to keep an eye open. A lot of my opponents that I've faced recently sadly turn to ash when you defeat them. It's very, it's not the ideal opponent for me to fight. You know me, I like to rip apart my opponents when I'm done with them.
Right.
Yep, that's the reaction that I was expecting.
Yeah, you kind of get the impression that he's not quite buying that, given your small stature, but he's too polite to really call you out on that.
Triss is dead man, not give a single thing away either way about what he's just said.
Yeah. But yeah, you see that he's got a few pieces kind of already on armor stands behind him. And he goes over and starts having a look at a few. Yes, I think I can make that work for you, Torek. I'll probably need about a day to do it, but it's definitely something that we can arrange for you. It'll come at a rate of 250 gold pieces, but it'll be good quality.
That's a done deal, I must say. Very good.
And anything for you today, Triss? You see that you're still fairly unarmoured.
Yeah, so I came across this rather nice armor with studs and things while we're out and about. The studs are fantastic, but I think I could just do with something a little bit hardier. Is there any chance of removing the studs from this and putting them on something that'll give me a bit more coverage?
He looks at this a little bit. I think I might be able to do something with that, but I'm just wondering whether it might be easier to maybe kit you out with just better armor anyway. Do you have any particular styles of armor you're after? What's your get-up? I've got quite a bit of medium and light armor ready.
Either, I think this would probably be close to light armor, but I'm open to suggestions. I just didn't want to lose the adamantine studs on these, but if you think going from fresh is better, I'm definitely up for that.
You see at that mention of adamantine, he does look closely and says, "Oh, I see. Almost didn't catch it under the a layer of grime on that armor, but yes, that is indeed adamantine. Well, I think I can definitely work with that for sure. Let me think. Yes, I could definitely repurpose that. I can probably make it quite a strong suit without having to give away any of its flexibility.
Ideal.
Now, luckily, I do actually have a suit of leather armor ready to go. That's roughly in your size, with only a few modifications, so I can probably again get that done fairly quickly. It shouldn't take too long to reposition all the studs. The hard work's mostly done. Tell you what, if you leave that armor with me, I'll work on it for you. I'll be able to repair adamantine, so I'll probably be able to do it a little bit cheaper for you as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yes, no problem. This will be 200 gold, but it should be ready alongside Torix.
Fantastic. We'll see you tomorrow then in that case.
Perfect. Well, if you'll leave us to our work, I will proceed to teach Volvira how we make proper armor.
Have fun with that.
Oh, I'm sure it will be fun.
Tarek, anything else you needed?
No, I think I'm going to spend the rest of the day crafting. You probably won't see me.
That's probably for the best. Okay, we'll see you later.
He kind of waves you goodbye and very quickly starts to kind of ply out some of the studs from your old armor. So be ready for you guys tomorrow. He's going to work fairly quickly on that, being quite a skilled tailor.
Fantastic. I'll just leave the money with him now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the rest of you, anybody got anything they particularly need?
Have only to stock up on arrows.
I've still got a decent amount of standard and a few iridium left.
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah, nothing to purchase for me, but Braxton would like to go to the training grounds and really give a good go at getting accustomed to that hammer with the cold damage modifier. Not modifier, like additional cold
Yeah,
damage.
sure.
Because he's a bit of a liar, but never really swung it in anger properly.
Mm. So Braxton, the training dummies are free with all the rest of the hunters out, so you kind of have the ring to yourself. The hammer is a very, very different weapon to the longsword. The balance takes some getting used to. The obviously the weight being in the head rather than primarily in the hilt. So you spend a couple of hours practicing the kind of the more subtle arts of swinging this. And after a while, you start to become accustomed to the momentum. Obviously, with a hammer, if you miss your target, you tend to kind of follow through the blow, and that can leave a less experienced soldier off balance for a time. But you get the feel for the weapon, and after a while and a bit of practice, you manage to kind of simulate a missed blow, but keeping your guard up and not exposing yourself in the process. By the time you leave the ring, one of the dummies is kind of reduced to little more than matchsticks. But you're quite happy with the results, and you feel like you're going to get the full benefit from that hammer.
Nice.
Okay. So, Hal, you didn't want to stock up on any arrows.
That was present moment in time.
Okay. Cool. In which case, probably just fast forward to Tristan and Torrik getting their armor the next day. Just for the sake of brevity.
Sick.
Is there a cart in Carenman that could be pulled on a horse?
Yeah, there's a couple lying around, usually used for fairly mundane tasks of the fort's needs, but
So,
not much going on.
Torrik, we could probably do with taking a cart with us on our way north. There is a certain hidden temple with a chest full of mysterious material for us to collect.
Or it
Very-
has like a sly smile that curls his like handlebar mustache up a little, and he just like, oh, very good, good thinking.
And yes, it was quite heavy, as I recall.
Yes. Oh, and it's Hibonite you're thinking of.
Hibonite, that's the stuff.
Yes, remarkable metal. I'd love to do more experiments in the future. But for now, I am preoccupied. Putting up the finishing touches.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I killed Homie. Temporarily, of course.
Right. Rulin just doesn't question it. It's just one of those things, I guess.
So, Torrik's clearly got stuff on his mind as you guys head for bed today. Tris, you can see in your absence the trainees have been taking very good care of the red dragon wormling above your bed. It's now the proud owner of a makeshift crafted top hat and a kind of a black mustache drawn on its snout. But,
I'll go give it a pat on the head.
The glassy eyes kind of follow you as you approach and give it a gentle pat. But no credit to Heradius. The taxidermy is holding up. It's still looking like the day you killed it.
This gives me an idea for something that I want to do before we head off, but I'll wait for a moment.
Okay. So you guys are kind of alone in the bunkhouse, which is a bit of a weird sensation. The obvious noise and clamour that was kind of just been normal for the last couple of times you've been here is replaced with that not quite silence, because Torik's obviously got his potions and that bubbling away, but it's quiet. It feels a bit empty.
Torrik, are you okay holding tight for a moment? Just need to settle my curiosity about something.
You do you. Torik's like lowering in a piece of metal into this contraption of his, half listening.
To your relief, you notice this contraption isn't ticking.
It's a pipe bomb.
For my own sake and his, I'm just going to gauge quickly the distance between myself and him.
Hard to say what the blast radius this would be, but you're fairly confident you're going to be out of the worst of it.
Perfect. In that case, I'm just going to tell him to watch himself for a second, and I want to eyeball the wormling.
It's like a child. Just look after yourself for a minute. Mummy's just going to go do something.
Mummy needs a Valium. Yeah. So yeah, you have a look at this wormling, and you can kind of see with the eye the skull underneath the scales. But any essence of life and any kind of energies of a soul have long since left it.
Does the wormling give me kind of any, not the wormling, does the eyeball give me any kind of sensation or feeling or anything like that? Triss is aware that she's kind of been taking a lot of what's been given to her, but there might be something more that she could chase after with this eyeball situation.
There's obviously I mean, you're presenting this thing with a fairly close-up view of a fairly rare specimen. So there's an initial sensation of interest. You kind of feel the eyeballs stare at it for a while, but after about 20 seconds or so, it stops flicking around the room. Clearly lost its attention there.
Eyeball goes away, concerned about what it'll do under boredom.
Okay. Alrighty, Torek. You kind of keep tinkering away after the others have gone to bed. But when you do finally decide to pack it in, and you kind of put all your kit away, you do notice actually as you remove your gauntlet, that singular grey scale is no longer singular. You've now got a small patch of about 3 of them.
Oh dear. Exponential growth. Yeah, I start taking measurements and sketching. Turning to a page of my notes that had the original sketch at the back of my hand, drawing a new sketch on the opposite page of the new observation. Apparently I don't know thermodynamics like the back of my hand.
So yeah, you kind of make a few notes, but from what you can tell, this is kind of the same scales as the previous one. They're pretty much identical, and they do overlap slightly. It's still only a small patch on the back of your hand. They're not particularly large scales. But it's a weird sensation as you kind of run a finger over them and notice that you are actually feeling through them.
Oh, integrated into the nervous system. This is bad. Oh, maybe I should show the wizard tomorrow. That might be a good idea. Just in case this is some kind of foul magical trickery that I'm not aware of. And we'll have to go on some kind of quest or something.
But yeah, it's not causing you any pain or inconvenience. It's just obviously very unusual. Cool. So
Action level has gone up.
so the next day, Triss, Torek, you return to the workshop, and you can see that there's 2 very kind of new-looking suits of leather armor on their stands. One of them obviously significantly smaller than the others. Good morning, you two. I've managed to get everything in order for you, and I must say I'm quite pleased with these ones. The adamantine proved to be actually much easier to work with than I'd previously thought.
That's fantastic.
So he kind of gestures for you to kind of come examine these things, make sure you're happy with them. As you get close, you can see that the armor is finished with Dolosar's trademark black scale embedded into the chest plate of each piece. His mark of quality. But as you try them on, Torek, you can feel that you've definitely got a bit more kind of movement in your upper torso. The improvements that you'd asked for have kind of been worked into this a little bit. And as it doesn't feel as tight, but the trade-off of that is you're not going to be too restricted by it when you're trying to pull things out of pouches or whatnot.
That is good. Freedom of movement is good when you're trying to do about 20 things at once, which Torek sadly finds himself trying to do in combat.
Interesting. You can see that these adamantine studs have been riveted into place with a great deal of care. And as you try the armor on, you can see that this is a very nice, sturdy piece, but it doesn't sacrifice that at the cost of any weight. The adamantine being quite light is it feels pretty much like what you'd expect a heavy raincoat perhaps to feel like, rather than any clunky, cumbersome armor. So as you guys try this on, it becomes quite apparent that Dolstar's put a good deal of work into this and made it so that this will stand you up to hopefully whatever you'll have to face. So each of you, basically, it turns your versions of your armor you've got on into a +1 variant of that. So Triss's adamantine one will also negate the crits from the adamantine buds, but you've both got the +1 variant.
Super.
This is good news. Torik's gonna excitedly waddle his way back to the room where he was crafting. It's like quickly giving Triss on the way and any other party member on the way just like want to see something cool.
Well, cool for you usually means deadly for the rest of us.
Accurate. Come on.
Okay. Follow along,
So,
if nothing else, just to make sure he doesn't kill someone.
Yeah. So as Torik and Triss kind of break in their new armor and kind of give it a bit of a test with a few practice dodges and various other movements that prove handy in combat, you can see that it seems to be a good fit on them and probably serve them quite well. But Rulin, you, as you're looking around, you do notice a kind of a cart is available. It's a fairly cumbersome thing. It's got twin axles and looks like it takes 2 horses to really pull it properly. But it also looks very sturdy.
Torik, how would you feel about riding in the cart?
That would be brilliant. It means maybe I could do stuff on the road a bit easier. I'm gonna examine the wheels to think if it's gonna be a bumpy to ride in this cart on the road.
So
Torik's got to invent shock absorbers.
I'm gonna enchant the car.
What would be the check for vehicles?
Maybe insight, I would say. I don't know.
I'd just say it would give me an intelligence roll, shall we say?
That's easy. That's a 23.
So looking at the wagon, you quickly work out, it's got a fairly decent stability you'd calculate, given that it's got a large wheelbase and a fairly low centre of gravity. You reckon that this is going to be probably a reasonably stable platform for which to do some work on the road? You reckon you could probably, all but the most delicate of things on the go if you were to ride the back of this?
Very cool. Cool. Torik has 2 new inventions that he finished last night. Actually, 3. Holy shit! Oh my god. Yes. I would love to show the party what I can do now.
Uh-huh.
So I think I'll near the car. I'll lift down my inventions down there and be like, "Thank you all for accepting my note and arriving to this demonstration. I think it'll be very important for you all to understand what I have discovered. The encounter with the devils and all the monsters recently have given me a great deal of inspiration, as well as other things. Anyway, first invention. I've enhanced the boomer blade with a compartment. I lift out my arm and out of it opens up a compartment of a ton of hypo needles just open up. And I offer one to each party member. Now, think of the attribute you want to boost and then jam it into yourself.
Now?
Yeah, why not? Could be fun.
Tarek, you watch as the party hesitantly consider what you've just told them. They've seen what you do with needles, so this could be an interesting one.
I haven't mixed it up this time. Come on.
Well, Ruland's might be the most resistant to anything, to any horrific side effects. So, what can I think of? So, you think it's saying in terms of skills?
Well, I'm thinking actually in terms of attributes like strength, dex, con.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd like to be wiser.
Cool. As you focus and do it, you can feel the effects of enhance ability get cast on you. Essentially, what I've got here is I can enchant a weapon or an object of mine to contain 10 casts of a level 2 or lower spell. And I've chosen enhance ability for now, since anyone who is touching the object can cast it. So essentially, you guys can touch me and receive a stat buff.
That's cool.
I thought
Okay.
that'd be a cool application of it. So yeah,
wait. So long as we're touching you.
No, it would be like you casting the concentration spell.
Okay. So all we got to do is touch you, then the spell gets cast.
Oh,
Do we
specifically-
concentrate on it?
Yes, you do concentrate on it. Sadly, any spells cast are concentrated, and I think any spells cast with this feature are done at my modifier.
That's cool.
I can change the spell at the end of any long rest. While holding the object, a creature can take an action to produce the spell's effect, using the spellcasting ability modifier of +5. If the spell requires concentration, the creature must concentrate. The spell stays in the object until it's used 10 times, or until you use this feature again to store another spell.
So enhance ability gives advantage on the requisite checks. So it's the enhance ability spell that it casts.
Yeah, this particular loading does enhance ability, so it would give you advantage and a miscellaneous bonus. So since you chose wisdom, you'd get the owl's wisdom and get advantage on wisdom checks.
Okay.
That's actually all for that one. But for instance, if you chose cat's grace, you'd get advantage to dexterity, and you wouldn't take falling damage from 20 feet or less.
Okay.
Yeah, little stuff like that.
Strength. The target has advantage on strength checks, and his or her carrying capacity doubles. Advantage on constitution checks, and you gain 2d6 temporary hit points. Nice.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, I was thinking use loading this spell in with it, or aid, which would increase maximum health. But I imagine that could get quite messy in like resource management. I think just like a general buff would be the best application of this.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up, I've made an endoskeleton.
An endoskeleton.
Yes.
An exoskeleton.
Endo. Wait. Endo is the one on the outside, right?
Endo's
Endo's
the one on the
In the
inside.
Oh my.
You've turned yourself into Wolverine.
I'm going to have to correct a lot of notes. Cool.
Oh,
So
man.
I've got a. Oh,
I love how that's a mistake that Torek would have made in character and Guy's made in person. Like,
Torik's brilliant. He gets to make all the same mistakes I do.
yeah. So an exoskeleton is the one on the out.
Yeah. So I can step into this armor and it'll enhance my strength. It gives me 6 charges and it can substitute my intelligence for my strength for a strength check. It can make me resist getting knocked prone, and it comes with 6 charges to do this with. Yeah, so you could see like this thing is like a thin mesh of wires across all my limbs, with a the blue power core on my back. Just like giving it power. That will slowly regen its date charges daily, but not always to full, which is interesting.
Very cool. So Tarek has built himself a fair few things overnight. He's been quite a busy boy.
Yep. And the last thing is, I've got this needle. I'm going to hold up like a slightly above average size hypo, click a button on the side of it, and it just starts like vibrating. The needle starts like vibrating up and down.
Okay.
I've got here a bottle of magical tattoo ink. I was thinking of giving it to Titus, but honestly, he's quite untouchable as it is. Triss, you've had quite a few encounters with death. Would you like a tattoo that gives you bonus protections?
Sorry, I missed that. I had a noise situation.
Do you want a magical tramp stamp?
Hell yes!
Alright, where do you want the tattoo? What shape do you want it to be?
Can you give me a couple of seconds to think about it?
Yeah, like we're gonna set up shop, and I'm gonna use like my calligraphy set to like try and draw up a design for her.
Amazing.
Just don't ask for anything in a foreign language because he's not going to.
Are you sure you want the phrase "black cocks only" above your bum?
To be fair, Triss speaks enough languages that you'd hope she could get it right.
Yeah.
It's whether Tarek could.
What does it do again?
Essentially, I'll just tell you the mechanics of this one. This is something from the new rulebook. Magical tattoos. This one would take up a limb's worth, and it'll give you bonus AC. It'll change your AC to... You know how normally it's 10 plus your dex modifier?
Mm-hmm.
Now it would be 12 plus your dex modifier.
Ooh.
It would cover half a limb or the scalp.
I think we'll pass by the scalp. Maybe. Oh, cool. I don't know. There's a lot of choices here. Has anyone got any ideas?
I could do like
tattoo.
I could do like a tattoo of a shield on the back of your palm with a cool eyeball in the center of it. In that way, you can lift up the tattoo in response to threats.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, some cool wavy tentacles going down the arms.
A second eyeball on your belly so it doesn't look odd.
One on the back
Just one
as well.
huge one and then one little one, yeah.
And it's googly eyed.
Okay, so Tarek, you gonna break out this ink and get to work on the back of Triss's hand. It doesn't take you all too long to get it done. It's not a massive tattoo. Triss, you do stop and wonder whether this is actually going to work, but no, Tarek has pulled off a lot of crazier shit, so...
Does it look cool enough that even if it doesn't work, I won't be super pissed?
Yeah, I mean, it looks fairly decent for an amateur tattoo artist. It's, in fact,
Yeah.
no, let's not do that. Tarek, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity! Oh! I'll tell you what, Chris. Crispy.
No one's ever called me that before.
Fuck, what's wrong with me? God.
I like that. It sounds foreign.
Could I take an hour then to tune a tattooer's kit to add my proficiency?
Why don't you just enhance ability yourself?
I mean, I'm going to do that as well, but...
Yeah, you can
Just
do
roll
it
the
right.
dice and fucking go for it.
You can set up shop.
Fuck up. So I think, all in all, I'm gonna take a hypo of Dex times 2, and then I'm gonna plus the proficiency bonus of having the crafting tools, and I'm gonna flash of genius on top of this. All in all,
He's gonna
this
get
is
that 20. Guarantee it.
It's a nat one. It's going to be a nat one.
Oh,
It's
that
going
would
to be
be
one or the other, isn't it?
I guess
If he gets-
advantage. Yeah.
Oh,
19
Whoa.
plus 12, so 31.
This is a work of art, Triss. It's honestly, Torek is wasted on academia. This was definitely the calling he was born for and has only just discovered. The tattoo is very much to your liking.
Amazing.
Cut to a small flashback of, but Daddy, I just want to draw. You will invent and you will like it more. Gets a potion thrown at him.
Come back when you doctor!
Oryx's parents are just like, really demanding that he just invents it.
Torek's parents are alive and well, and I cannot wait until we meet them.
Mate, I need to discuss with you like ideas for that because I haven't even 100% decided what to do. It's going to be hilarious.
Jesus.
So, yes, you guys take the time to get it right, and the tattoo comes out. Incredibly realistic depiction of a shield with a kind of an eye as the central boss.
I have no idea how to put this into my equipment. Holy moly.
Cool. I think it. Oh, by the way, this does. Crispy isn't counting attunement slots, but in case he changes his mind, this one does count as an attunement. You can click on your armor class on the sheet and just customize adding to.
Oh, okay.
So that puts Triss on a much more respectable 19.
Oh,
Gone up 3 armor points since the start of the session.
I'm buffing the party so well.
That just means Crispy
almost-
can throw bigger things at us.
Yeah, it almost means, guys actually playing an artificer how it's meant to be played.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
so-
to slow down the
so
campaign a
much.
little or anything. I just
Yeah.
this
No,
is
it's
what I'm
fine.
capable
that
of.
is literally what your class does, so take the time and do it. And people can appreciate not being dead later. Alrighty. Cool. So the rest of you kind of watch this going on. Rune, you actually go and check with Ronfan that this wagon is okay to be requisitioned rather than just taking it. He gives you the all clear for it, so you don't have to break the sad news to Torek that he can no longer work on the roads. He's got this little tattoo parlor set up there, and he looks quite content in the back of that wagon. Cool.
Sure, he'll
So,
make some improvements to it and make it his own.
who knows? But yeah. So, yeah. If that's everything that anyone wants to do, you guys need to think about where exactly you're heading.
Just one quick question before we get to that. This
Sure.
hammer that I've got, is it a light hammer or is it like a war hammer?
It's a warhammer.
Great.
That didn't sound like it was really great.
Well, it is great because it's like 1d8 damage instead of 1d4.
Yeah.
It kind of came off as great.
Yeah, it's a warhammer, not a claw hammer. So you'll be able to hit hard with this one.
Oh, Torek, do you still have that armor? Or
Armor?
did we sell it? From
The
our
ornate stuff.
yes.
I think I sold it.
He sold it.
Okay.
Yes, I sold it.
Just
It
checking
was,
them.
yeah, it was more of a ceremonial piece than practical. I wouldn't fret too much. You do my armor anyway.
Well, we could have given it to Dolasar to do something with. Also, while we're on the topic, what exactly do you have in that bag?
50 denarii, and lots of this crappy like glitter. Don't know what to do with it. I've been decorating my workbooks with it sometimes.
Okay.
I wonder if this is the stuff that's making me mutate.
Mutate?
Oh yeah, Tris, I've grown 2 more scales.
That's not good. Maybe we should take you back to see Quintil.
Oh, that's what I was going to do today.
Good. I'm glad it was so up your priority list.
The thing, I keep on forgetting to do lists.
Although, Braxton, are you any good at medical things? Maybe medical things?
One sec. I think I am.
It might be worth getting Braxton to double check it anyway, just in case there's anything seriously janky going on with it.
I can certainly have a look. I'm not too hot on the field of medicine, but perhaps if it is obvious or maybe has a religious side to it, I may find something out.
This is where I show Braxton, and he goes, "The black spot." Has to do like the spit on the ground and the spin.
Okay, so Braxton, as Torek kind of offers you his hand to examine, you do see these scales. So roll me a medicine check.
Egad, Sildania's scales. That's a flat 11.
This doesn't look like any physical ailment you've seen before. Not to say that you've seen every physical ailment out there, but you've seen a fair bit between your military service and your travels, and this doesn't look like it's something that's occurred naturally.
I'm afraid I'm no help with this one, Torek. Way past my knowledge.
Could I have another look at it and see if there's anything else I can pick up on this time? Now it's changed a bit.
Yes. You'd probably approach this from a different angle, I guess. So roll me an Arcana.
And that would be blah, blah, blah. My brain's just gone blank. How do I add? 27? 28? 27.
So Tris, as you approach this stills again, now that there's 3 of them, you start to notice as you kind of approach Torek's hand, a slight, almost sensation of nausea in your stomach. It seems that the entity doesn't like these scales that much. You can detect as well a slight presence of a magical energy from these scales. And on closer inspection, you find that whilst there's a faint trace of it on Torek's hand, there's quite a strong one in his gauntlet.
Torek, have you thought about changing these gauntlets?
Why would I do that?
Because I think they're what's causing it.
I'm gonna turn a gauntlet inside out and see what's in the... Ooh, that's not gonna be a pretty sight, is it? Be prepared for many gnome skin flakes.
Let's take a step back.
So, Tarek, I'm going to ask you to roll me an Arcana as you unravel all this and take apart the various inner workings of it.
I'll be a 22.
So as you take this apart, you notice that there's significantly more energy coursing through the various parts of this gauntlet than there really should be. You built a fairly low energy gauntlet, except for like a few moments where you can release large surge, like your shocking grasp. But for the most part, this contraption uses very little magical energy. So it's quite surprising to see just how much is in there. It's almost as if it might have been enhanced by a particular action you might have taken in the past.
done.
Torek, do you want me to take a closer look at the gauntlet with my other eye?
Yeah, good.
I'll find a quiet spot so I don't blast everyone with it.
Okay, so Triss, you kind of grit your teeth and battle through this nausea as you kind of hold this gloves at arm's length and take it to a bit of a quiet spot. And as you place it down and give it a fix with the abdomen eye, you realise now why you're getting these reactions to it. Now that the wiring is exposed, the eye can detect that kind of pulsating yellow energy field that you'd previously experienced with those hibonite ingots. It seems that when Torek used absorb element on the ingot in the past, some of that energy has stayed far longer than he'd originally intended.
I'll go back and let him know.
Oh. This is an effect of the hibonite. This is exciting! Maybe I'm turning into a Tildreish. Maybe that's why I can't identify these scales. The scales would have rotted long away, leaving only the skeleton. Oh my god. This is awesome.
Identify now on them. Do I find out anything more?
No, it's a fairly vague trace energy there. There's not really much to identify other than that source, really.
Well, let's see, I did it with the spell absorb elements. Perhaps maybe when the time is right I can find something to expel that extra energy too. But that'll be, I don't know what the effects of that'll be.
Do you want to get some more gauntlets for the time being?
I don't know. Kind of curious to see where this goes, if I'm honest.
Alright.
How much of a fish can I turn into?
That gauntlet, Thoric, is making me feel a little squiffy, so I'd be careful about it.
Well, if it's enough to make you feel squiffy, then, well, must have something special. Fuck. I've just read some small text, which has made me sad. I can only infuse non-magical items. Are you counting the studded leather armor +1 as magical?
No, it's not magical, it's just well crafted.
Oh, I love you. Beautiful.
Okay, so with Torek kind of musing about this, Ruin, you've had time to fix up the 2 horses to the front of the wagon.
Cool.
Okay, so what's the plan then, guys? Where are we heading?
We could. Well, obviously we've got this Tildrashi site over here. Where is that? Where the? That's not where the Hibonite was it?
No, the Hibonite was a little further south. It'll be kind of on the way.
Well, I mean, we are quite pressed to get up to this camp south of it. Eventide. What do you all think? Go by way of Bayford and then up, or just cut straight up? Hit this Tildrash site. Collect the Hibonite. Or collect the Hibonite, hit the Tildrash site, and then go to the camp.
I think if we're going to stop anywhere, it would be the Tildrash site and not Bayford.
Just means we won't get, a rest.
A long
really,
rest.
A long
yeah. That's a good point, actually.
But I mean, if not everyone needs it necessarily, then we could just cut straight up.
There was the Baron von Cheese.
Weiler.
That's the one. Thanks. Wasn't he west of Bayford? Could we go and visit them en route?
Yeah.
He's actually to the
East.
southeast of Bayford.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
say, I remember it being around here somewhere.
I got
Yeah.
that one wrong.
Probably do with that marker, actually.
Yeah, I can give you that.
Would we know of any villages or anything sort of in this area, like next to the border to north?
There
Well,
are
we
a
probably
couple.
just want to be careful, I think, don't we? Along the border, because it's going to be probably dwarven patrols and shit as well.
Yeah, there are a couple of villages here and there. You've done quests for one of them, but as Cal says, there may well be patrols on that border.
I don't know. Bayford and then up. See if anyone's heard anything in Bayford.
Yeah, I think the long rest situation kind of leans towards Bayford, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys are getting ready to set off, you see Ruin the Quinial coming across the bridge. Good morning, friends. I've some good news. I have a lead. One of my contacts in Bayford has been able to inform me exactly where the took place outside of Eventide. He kind of gestures you to kind of pull out your map, Rulin. And as you lay it down across the cart, he points to a location on the map, which I will spawn a marker for. He was telling me that the dwarves managed to catch him on the march in the forest. I think you should probably be able to find it here. It's still not a pinpoint location, so I apologise for that, but it should set you on the right path.
Right. Well, we'll be sure to investigate. Is that not where near to where that village was that we
It's not far away.
Yeah.
You notice.
What was the name of that village? I can't remember now. That doesn't matter.
Acom.
No, Acom's the Baron's village, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
It was Etwall was the one up north.
Etwall.
That's the one with the Wendigo, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he gives you that location, and you mark on your map.
Okay.
By the way, Quinial, I'm growing scales, just so you know.
You what?
Yeah, check it out.
He kind of grabs your hand and pulls it in for a closer look. Obviously, can't have to lean down quite a bit. Torek, that's not a good thing.
Do you think I should get some more gauntlets? I think it's coming from there.
It might be a good idea. It definitely looks like it's a magical affliction you've got there.
Well, thanks for letting me know. I absorbed the energies of a Hibonite deposit we found. Hopefully I'll be able to expel them as per the description of the ability of the spell, but with an effect like this, I don't know.
How long have you had these?
How many months has it been?
A while?
Oh, wow, months. Torek, if you were going to be able to get rid of that with a spell, I think it would have already dissipated by now.
Oh dear.
Well, I'll have a read through my library and see if I can find any cases similar to this. If not, one of my friends down in the College of Illyrist might know a bit more. But if it get worse, I'd say definitely go and try and get that seen to.
Thank you, Quiniel. I'll certainly try.
Right. Well, I wish you all the best of luck and safe travels. Keep your wits about you. I think these are troubling times.
Well, we'll be back as soon as we can with Rock.
We're all counting on you. So he kind of waves you off as you guys get on the road. So Torek, you're pleasantly surprised at the quality of the ride in this cart. For all its looks of being fairly run down, suspension is at least serviceable. So you're going to be able to craft whilst you're on the road now.
Very cool.
You're not having to focus on controlling a horse.
That is brilliant. I'm going to start crafting some bracers.
Okay. So, sorry, was planned to head up via the Hibonite site, then to Bayford, then onwards? Or,
sensibly. Let's get to the Hibonite site, see how we're feeling. But probably via Bayford.
okay. So the road north, again, shows no real sign of merchant travel. You suspect that news of this conflict has probably already made it south. The merchants of these kingdoms tend to be the ones who bring news from distant lands just due to the nature of their lifestyles. So clearly, a lot of the merchants have thought better of risking travelling across a war zone. Armies are fairly notorious for their fondness for a bit of loot. Aval, you got to keep your eyes peeled on the roads, and in a sharp contrast to the Lithari Empire, the woods here seem to be fairly loud. Here, you've got the usual chatter of birds and all that, but you can kind of hear the cracking of quite big trees and branches deeper into the forests. There's probably some fairly large creatures in there, but you're not getting paid to hunt those. Doesn't seem though that anything has caught your scent just yet, so you keep on up to the Hibonite site after a couple of days. So, Tarek, you've kind of got a rough idea of where this kind of the entrance to this was. If you remember, it was a little bit distant from the main road because obviously Triss chased off that rune rock cellar into the undergrowth. But you don't have too much trouble finding it. You've got a fairly good idea of where this was, and with Havel's woodsman skills, finding the path that led you there isn't too tricky. So as you lower yourself down back into that underground passage, roll me a perception.
No. Nine.
So as you cast your eyes around, they kind of naturally fall on these pillars that were there the last time, and you can kind of see that some more of these rocks have been chipped away.
Mm.
The tunnel does appear to be empty, though.
Hmm. Do you think it's substantial for me to believe that someone has been here since? Not really, I guess. I make my way down further to where the this is where the Hibonite was, right?
Yeah, so you come back to the kind of the end chamber of it. This time it's a bit more apparent. There has definitely been some more looting in here since you were last here. Bits of mosaic and stone tablets have been broken off and removed from the site, either in small pieces or, where possible, in whole slabs. But the floor remains untouched, it seems.
Hmm.
So perhaps our unfortunate friend wasn't the only one who was looting this temple.
Could be that someone who knows what it is being down as well.
It sounds similar to what he was doing now, chipping off small chunks to sell as trinkets here and there.
The bits that are missing, are they key parts of the murals?
It doesn't really look like they're, critical bits of information.
Okay.
But you can't really remember what was on these walls last time, so it's pretty hard to say what's missing. But the actual information that's remaining isn't massively important anyway. It's not groundbreaking stuff. It's largely, decorative rather than a means of telling a story, like some of the other artifacts you found have been.
Well, I'll whip out a crowbar and pry up the floor panel.
Okay, so the floor panel comes away again, this time a bit easier. And as you lower yourself down into this hidden chamber, you can see the 4 statues are still in their place, and the chest containing the Hibonite is also there.
Well, it seems to be untouched. I'm going to put my hand on the chest just to make sure it's not like scalding hot or anything.
It's a little bit warm to the touch, but it is not uncomfortably hot.
Okay. It's still being contained.
Have we been followed? Well, it seems whoever looted this place didn't know where to look. Could be that he was waiting for someone who did know where to look. Have we been followed?
Like I said, the last man that we interrupted in here, he was doing much the same, chipping off small chunks to sell as runes and all sorts of.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like the stuff was freshly broken.
Well, it could be fresh. I mean, it could be a friend of his who also knew about the temple has carried on his work of trying to sell them off as magical, superstitious keepsakes.
God, yeah, I just remembered what happened to that boy.
Yeah.
That poor boy. He was like a 50-year-old man, but poor boy.
I suppose it's all relative when you're a really, really old gnome.
Yeah.
I'm only 99!
Sorry, didn't mean to offend, Torek.
Right.
So, it looks like this chamber that is kind of hidden beneath the main structure has been left untouched. The chest is still locked, however, now, after you left it. See who can remember how they got into this one.
Oh, I remember. I have a yellow gem keystone to slot into the eye of a statue.
Very good. And as you slot the eye into its position, you hear the whirring and click of bolts as mechanisms clearly operate within the chest.
Beautiful.
Do you want to take a look, or are we just carrying it out?
I mean, we could just carry it up and into the cart, couldn't we?
Would probably be best.
Cool, I take out the gem and hide it on my person.
The soft whir of mechanisms play again.
Yeah, if someone ambushes us on the road, I don't want them to get it too easy, you know?
No. Well, judging from the weight of this thing, I don't think anyone's getting away with it easily.
Yeah,
Speaking
well.
of which, perhaps you could give us something to help lift it out of the hole.
Torek approaches the box and it looks like he's about to kick it, but then he remembers actually maybe it's a bad idea to kick it. How heavy is this thing? Do you think?
You don't really know, but the last time anyone tried it, even Titus couldn't lift.
It would take a strength greater than Titus's.
Perhaps
Maybe
if,
I could cook something up.
I was thinking something more traditional, like a pulley system, maybe.
Ridiculous. Why don't we just use a heavy drone to pull up as hard as we can? And I could try out my new strength suit.
Yes, why don't we do that?
This is going to be fun. Right, I'm going to cast Levitate on the box to try and reduce its weight by 500 pounds.
Okay, so you cast this on the box. There's no visible reaction to it, but
Well, it's essentially just like chains around like a drone that's kind of just like trying to pull it up but can't.
yeah.
And then Torek does some stretches before trying to lift up the box.
Okay, roll me a strength check, please.
Ooh. Yes, I'm going to add Flash of Genius to this, and I'm going to use a charge of my Armor of Strength. So my modifier for Strength goes up to +5. +5 again is +10. 16 for Strength.
Okay, and because you've used Levitate on that box, the exosuit works very well. Almost too well, in fact. As you lean down and grip onto the sides of the box with the exoskeleton and pull up, the weight of it seems to be significantly reduced since when you last tried it. But it's still a little bit stiff. There's some resistance as you pull up. Not to be deterred, though, you kind of ramp up the suit's power and get some extra juice out of this. And as you kind of straighten your back out, the chest kind of comes up off the floor with you. However, it seems that the base of the chest is now securely bolted onto the floor. And Torek, as you look at these bolts and the fairly intricate ancillary mechanical components on, you realise that this might have been the whirring, or at least one of the whirring sounds you were hearing.
Oh no.
More worryingly, several of these hibnite ingots have kind of fallen out of this chest and are now on the floor. And being stood close to it now, you can feel that this chest is starting to heat up significantly.
Oh.
Containment's been breached. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Don't absorb elements. Perhaps I can figure something out. Oh god.
What about the book's containment field? Perhaps you can fit a few of them into there, or use it somehow.
Brilliant. I try and I'm gonna use a shovel to try and pick up an ingot and put it in the containment field.
You try doing this until you remember you'd given the containment field to Aquinial to look after.
So I shovel up the hibonite and then turn around and go, oh wait, I don't have it. Oh god. guess I can reduce my book count by 1, which I forgot to do earlier. Oh, the bag of holding! Genius! I scoop up the ingots that are on the floor into the bag of holding.
Okay, so you're glad you've got the exoskeleton on because they're very, very hot, even as you're not directly touching them. And you managed to get these ingots into this bag of holding. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like explaining to Roland, like, I think that the reason they get so hot outside of their containment is they're reacting with the air. There's no air in a bag of holding.
Well, there is at least a little bit. I mean, you were breathing in it after all.
Yep, that's true. How many of these things am I able to grab? And does the box that's holding all of the hibernite look like it's gonna volatilely blow?
So the hibernite you've managed to get into this bag comes to about 6 ingots.
Okay.
The chest itself, now that the hibernite is not in it, is slowly starting to cool down. But the chest is pretty much ruined. I mean, most of the base has been ripped off.
Right.
So that's why it was so heavy.
It was
It was bolted to the floor.
Oh dear. I should really have taken a look at that before proceeding.
Well, maybe there's still something you could learn from it. I mean, was there any kind of magical containment, or like you said, was it just the fact that there's no air in there?
Good point, actually. I investigate the manufacture of the chest. Is this essentially just like a lead box, or is there something more to it?
Roll me an Arcana.
+9. 17.
It's lined with something, but it's not lead.
I need to find out what material negates this.
We could
I
take the pieces with us.
Yeah, I'll try and salvage what I can of the chest.
Are you present while this is happening?
Yeah, you're in the room. I'd imagine you're keeping far back though, given what happened last time you were in this room.
Okay. Tarek, if you want to pass me one of those pieces, I can see if I can figure out what it is that's holding them in, but please keep the rest of it away from me.
Oh yes, identify. Yeah, go for it. I try and get like whatever dimension of the box got preserved the best and present it to Triss.
Okay, so Triss, you gonna have a look at this as best you can, and it seems that this wood has been inlaid in various locations with covered almost kind of greenish mineral of some sort. You notice that it is actually fluorite. Not a particularly common mineral.
There we go, Tarek. Fluorite.
Not common by any stretch of the imagination.
Is there anything particularly special about fluorite?
Well, it's inert. Didn't consider inertness to be an inherently good value, but it appears that the Tildrache were smart enough to figure something out from it.
So that would suggest then that it's not air that it's reacting with. So the lack of air inside the bag of holding won't be stopping the reaction.
Auric peeks in the bag of holding.
So, Torek, as you open this, a wave of heat rushes from. What you've effectively created here is by having this very, very small exit point, you've effectively kind of made a very low powered jet engine for the second that you open.
Yo! I seal it up.
A kind of jet of almost superheated air, because there's not much air in there, so the stuff that is in there has been heated very much beyond its normal levels.
I think I can cross 50 denarii off my current currency holdings.
Shall
Although
we try and get it out with the mage hand?
I don't think we should be anywhere near it right now.
No. But we do have contained volatility.
So where could we get hold of more fluorite? Oh, anyone?
I don't know. I could probably know if I rolled like a dice or something.
What are we playing again? D&D? Is there dice in this game? I don't know.
There have been known to be a few. Roll me a history.
I only rolled a 4, but that's a 17.
So you're not exactly sure of the exact location, but you are fairly certain that most fluorite mines are, like most mines actually, located in Nordhammer.
Of course. Well, crossing the border right now is probably not the best idea.
No.
And we do have more important things, but
We could always visit the other Tildrache site.
to see if they have more flora.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to go and visit that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's probably about as likely as anywhere that we'd find it.
Okay, so now that Torek's loaded his bag, you guys make your way back up out into this upper chamber. And after sliding the slab back into position, you guys make your way back out and remount up. Get on your wagon, Torek, and
Keep working on those braces.
yeah, keep working on those braces. Although now you do have the decision to make of where next.
So we could continue on to Bayford, or we could just cut straight up to the Tildrache site.
Straight up seems like a good option.
There's
Do we
nothing-
have any business in Bayford?
Don't think your ambassador, what's his face? Did he return to Bayford or did he go back up to Eventide? Mind you, it's not him, it's King Gustav that owes us the Oh, okay. Continue up.
Okay, so you get back on your way. However, you keep a careful eye out as you go. You're travelling fairly close to the border, and although most of the fighting has been further north of here, you bear what Quiniel said in mind and keep a careful watch. But you spot nothing that would suggest the presence of any hostile raiding parties. So you guys get a couple of days good travel in. Then one night, as you're camping, Rule and the others are asleep, but you're obviously meditating. Roll me a perception.
Oh, heck. 26.
What's that burning smell?
I'd look over to Tarek immediately.
So you see out of Tarek's satchel a small but definitely increasing pillar of smoke start to seep from various holes in his pack.
Tarek?
Yeah. I was having a scrumptious dream.
Tarek, your pack's on fire.
Yeah. Bacon? What? Ah!
Tarek, the pack is now starting to smoulder. It seems that a small conflagration is in the making here.
Okay. It is fire that is not dependent on air. How do I put it out? Can't smother it. Can't. I just need to get that bag of holding out of here. I'm gonna just reach a hand in and just try and pull out the bag of holding and throw it away out of my sack.
Roll me an acrobatics.
Yes, sir. Hopefully this isn't a nat 1. Does it hit Alistair?
Yeet it back into the Lothario Empire. Just, so you, driven by that's the last time you've seen him. The desire to save primarily your notebook that's still in this pack, along with all the stress of the fact that there's a lot of very volatile chemicals that you keep in this bag that definitely don't need to be kissed by flame. You definitely stick your hand in this pack, and although it seems unorganized to the untrained eye, you know where everything is in this, and quite swiftly you reach in and grab the bag of holding. And as you pull this out, you can see that the neck where the kind of the hole is, the leather is singed and in some places just outright burning. This seems to have kind of had the effect that the kind of integrity of this bag is in the process of failing. And you very quickly identify that this hole is now expelling all of this stored heat.
God, well, let's just try and clear the area of where it is and make sure we don't make a forest fire. A magical forest fire. Oh no. That would be terrible. Yeah, I'm not sure how to handle this. I'm just gonna turn to Brulin and literally just be like, I don't know how to handle this.
Just shrugs his shoulders.
So for the time being, this bag is slowly burning up in a bit of a clearing. You guys are still a good few feet away from it, but you can kind of feel quite a strong heat emanating from this bag. The flames.
Any magic that might help quell it?
I don't think counter spell would work. It's not a spell. No, my magic is more fire inducing. Triss, wake up!
What's going on?
Wake up! Rise and shine. Torek needs your help. It's getting hot.
Oh god, Tarek, what the hell is going on?
I might be in the process of making the first magical forest fire in thousands of years.
Oh, for once, these inventions could be less violent. Right. I don't know. What the hell do we do? Is there no one else who can do anything?
No.
By now, the bag has burnt to such a degree that it has kind of lost its connection with whatever realm it was storing these in. And these 6 ingots have just been deposited with a puddle of what you assume are once 50 denarii. But now the heat is significantly more aggressive. You guys have to kind of back up a good 10 paces to kind of get to a bearable comfort again.
Do the ingots still seem to be like in one piece? They're not like melting or anything like that.
They're not melting just yet, but they're glowing profusely.
Well, can you send them somewhere else?
Irresponsible! Yes, I can!
500 feet. Torek, have you got anything that you can send them further?
I could catapult them.
Not. I was referring to perhaps another plane somewhere not here.
If I could travel to different planes, I wouldn't be here.
Well,
You guys have to back up another 10 paces. These things are now starting to, the nearest trees are starting to have their leaves and branches singe.
Oh God.
Thoughts quickly, anyone?
Does anyone have a spell of create water?
Prestidigitation?
I've got create food and water, but you need containers for the water.
Oh, I've only had a bag of holding.
Fuck.
I can chill up to
really
1
what?
cubic foot of non-living material for an hour. Can I try using prestidigitation on it?
Yes, Triss, you try to chill this. However, the effect seems to be minimal. It's not a particularly potent spell. Prestidigitation buys you a bit of time, but it's still getting hotter, but a little bit slower now.
This is bad. All of my effects that I do are either flammable or fire.
I'm gonna eyeball it.
Okay, so Triss, you kind of lift your armor, open the eye, and are immediately going to take some psychic damage.
Shit.
However, what the eye sees is blinding light. You take a hammer blow just straight to the mind.
Oh my God, was that 30 damage?
It was 30 damage.
Even though I've got defenses against psychic damage. Like your resistance?
You are resistant to it, but it's still, it's... Your patron is not happy that you've looked at that.
Oh shit.
Clearly it doesn't like Hibonite all too much.
If I had more preparation time, maybe I could build some kind of suit that was resistant to heat and drop it in a nearby river or something. Wait, are there any natural river sources nearby?
Havel, roll me a survival. Favoured terrain as well, so advantage.
Oh yeah, that's nicely like a 26 or something like that.
Judging by the kind of lay of the land, you reckon that there's probably at least some sort of brook within the nearest kind of mile, but you wouldn't be able to, put 100% faith on that. But it looks like there should be.
How much of the material of the chest did you manage to remove? Is there enough fluorite that you could quickly try and craft something to contain it?
Good question. I think I basically just ripped the lid off the box, right?
It wasn't a huge amount.
Okay.
The nearest trees are now ablaze.
This is really terrible. This is really bad, you guys. Oh, fuck! I have no clue what to do with this at all.
How quickly can you dig a hole?
Fuck it! Isn't it enough for me to piss off the Kraken gods? Now the forest spirits are going to be coming for me.
Oh, hang on.
Fey Hunt, noted.
Just reread this spell description. I can create it on the ground instead of in containers.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna. Oh, hang on one sec. Yeah, I don't need any materials. So I'm just gonna try, centered on the bag, I'm gonna try create food and water. Well, create water, I guess.
Okay.
So it produces
How much
30,
water does that?
30 gallons of water.
30 gallons of water. Okay, so Braxton, you kind of raise your shield and get a bit closer, protecting yourself from the worst of the radiating heat. But as you get there and reach out and create water, this water appears and falls onto this kind of pile of ingots, and almost immediately a large portion of this is turned to steam. So I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw, please, as this superheated steam just explodes outwards.
Oh, no.
Like throwing
No.
ice into a deep fryer. Kaboom.
That's 8.
8. Okay, so you're going to take some heat damage here. Okay, so again, your shield blocks a lot of it, but you do get some minor scaldings to the kind of the weaker spots in your armor, so things like knees and elbows. It seems like the rest of the water that wasn't immediately turned to steam has. Well, it's hard to say due to just how brightly this is glowing, but it might have cooled it at least a tad.
Sorry, do you have a shovel?
Yes? Are you thinking of burying it?
Well, to contain the fire, it's at least for now until we give us more time to figure something out.
Okay. You take my shovel, and I've got one more idea. I'm gonna, now that the temperature's reduced a bit, I'm gonna get as close as I can and I'm gonna try and counterspell, or it's called dispel magic actually. I guess I thought it was called
Counterspell's the
counterspell.
reaction. Dispel
Dispel
magic
is-
is an action.
Well. Fuck me then, I guess. Yeah, I'll try and dispel magic. The ingots.
Okay, so kind of following up as Braxton uses create water, you come up behind him a little bit again using his shield as a bit of cover. And you try and use dispel magic on this. Let me quickly have a quick read of what that's going to involve.
DC of
So that is going to be DC 19, please.
shit. +5. +5 +9, so +14, 7, 21.
You think quickly on your feet here, Torek. As you get close to Braxton's leg, you have a sudden brainwave. It doesn't need to be a solid container of fluorite to do it. You quickly go and find a kind of sturdy rock and begin kind of breaking up the fluorite you've salvaged from this chest's lid. You beckon for Havel to go and quickly find you some sand. as he comes back, you start powdering, start shoveling this powdered fluorite into this sand and give it a good mix. Before running up and dumping this over the fluorite. You can take a bit of fire damage because you have to get close, but you're not there to. So six fire damage there as you quickly dash in and pour this bucket of sand and fluorite. And as you kind of jump back, Braxton, you start to notice the heat is becoming a little more tolerable now. It's still very, very hot, and you kind of watch as this mixture of sand and fluorite starts to glow. The sand is quite quickly transformed into its kind of liquid state. But as the fluorite works its kind of ability to mitigate some of this energy, and the heat reduces, this hardens into effectively a slightly greenish glass dome over these Hibonite bars, but not bars anymore. The heat's too much. They've kind of melted into a kind of an amorphous blob. And you can see through it, but there's still some energy there. You haven't been able to get rid of all of it, but it looks like there's not going to be any additional fires from this, and it's safe to get to within about 5 feet of it.
Ooh. Sorry about that, everyone. I thought I'd initially contained it. I got so excited over the fact that maybe I'd have my own little bag of blowtorch holding.
Maybe the blowtorch should have been a bit of a warning that things weren't going quite the way you thought they were.
Won't it be stable? I was wrong.
Well, that was quite unnerving, to say the least. Will the items be safe? No?
The items?
The Hibonite?
I'd probably leave it until the morning.
But how will we go about transporting them now?
Good question. What's probably likely to happen is that these things are going to continue giving off their energy into the ground until they're out of juice.
And that
If they run out of juice.
It might just be that we have to leave them here and come back to collect them with more fluoride. It's not fluoride. You know what I mean. More stuff. Putty out
Hibonite.
stuff. Fibonite. That's the ticket.
So we need more fluorite. And then come back and collect them. It's not the worst idea.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we have no way of storing this stuff anymore, unless I can think of a way to carve this dome of green material around the Hibonite. There's no chance.
I mean, it's still quite warm around it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still cooling down, and some of the nearby trees are still ablaze.
Oh, jeez.
With the tree still on fire, Torik's gonna just be like, I suggest we go back to sleep now. The worst of it's over, probably.
so does Torek have any fluorite left, or has he used it all?
No, he's used it all to create that little dome.
Okay.
He didn't steal all too much.
On the upside, it seems to have made some kind of cool material glass. Maybe I could find a way to apply this glass. This very energy resistant glass.
Maybe you could shape the glass around the Hibonite to create a container of some sort?
Probably fat chance.
There's not quite enough. You
Okay.
reckon, Torek, to kind of create a glass case of sufficient size, it would have to be very thin layers around the whole thing, and that might not do the job.
Okay, so we leave it here.
Tarek, do you
We
happen to
could-
have any healing potions on you as well?
I can cook one up.
Fantastic.
Roland's gonna set about burying the dome as well, just to keep it out of sight. Just heap some soil and shit on top of it. Maybe that'll help cool it down a bit quicker as well.
Let's hope.
Okay, so yeah, there's definitely plenty of decent soil to carry over onto this glass. You're careful as you place it down. The heat in the immediate area is still, significant, but it's at least safe now that you can approach this glass without, any immediate burns to the skin. But after a few shovelfuls, it becomes a bit cooler. However, the more pressing issue is it looks like the fire in these trees is spreading.
Shit. How closely packed are the trees? I mean, I know we're in a forest, but
Close enough that there's enough overlap in branches, but this fire's probably not going to have all too much difficulty in spreading.
right.
Anyone?
Second issue.
rain or anything? Now would be a great time to spark up with that little ditty of information.
God, I wish I was that good.
Did we figure out whether there was any water sources nearby?
Havel reckons there's a brook or stream about a mile away.
That's probably a bit far.
Can we attempt to make a fire break? Or is there too many trees to kind of...
You might, if you act fast, you might be able to.
Okay, right. Torek, can you fashion us some axes?
I'm gonna start eldritch blasting trees while they're fashioning axes. I'm gonna aim at roots.
Fair enough.
Okay, so Triss starts blowing away the bark and the kind of heartwood of some of the nearest trees. It takes a good dozen or so blasts for this to fell the first tree, but it does come down. It's
My God, where's Titus when you need him?
it's not the fastest way of doing this. She's going to need some help, but she's slowing the spread a little bit.
Roland starts punching trees, I guess.
Starts punching trees. So these aren't bamboo. These are like oak and birch and.
Maybe if you climb the tree, you can break off the branches that are on fire.
You can do that if you want.
Climb the burning tree, Roland.
Havel, get up the tree.
Oh, do we have is that part of an adventuring pack? I guess would be an axe for making.
You'll have perhaps a small hatchet for making firewood, but it's not it's not a woodcutter's axe. But
It's not a tree felling axe.
It would be good for maybe a few small branches, but it would take a long time to get through a trunk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not really much Roland can do then.
Could I No. I'm going back on the idea. Let's just leave that train of thought where it was at.
Okay, so
Keep blasting.
just keep blasting.
Yeah.
So anyways, I started blasting.
Yeah. Okay, so Triss, you gotta keep on doing this, and you're slowly but surely felling a small fire break. Rulin, you try and get up one of these trees and kind of hatchet away the burning branches and kind of throw them into the center where the Hibonite originally was. Again, it kind of slows the spread a little bit, buys a bit more time.
Anyone else gonna help, or are you just gonna let us do it?
Someone take my boomer blade. I'll try and tear down a tree myself.
Guy, roll me
No
an
one wants
attack
to
roll.
use the boomer blade. Oh.
Jeez. Well, it basically is just like a saw blade kind of thing, isn't it?
I'm going to use another armor charge to raise my strength to +5.
Okay. And what are you attempting to do here?
I'm attempting to I'm gonna start pulling the tree and be like, oh wait, no, I'll get squished, and go around and try and push over the tree.
Okay, so what did that come to?
Let's see. 5 + 5, 10. Oh dear. I guess I'll just flash of genius it. Fuck it.
Okay,
15.
so you kind of push a little bit, and you kind of hear a few roots snapping. So you take a few steps back and kind of do a running kick to this with the exoskeleton. And sure enough, this flaming tree topples down towards the Hibonite. Roll me a dexterity saving throw as the tree you're kind of cutting the top limbs off starts to fall.
He's AFK, by the way.
Is he? Oh, okay. Well, we'll leave that for him, and when he comes back.
Oh no! What? Shit.
But as it goes down, that was really the tree that was at risk of spreading this fire. Triss's firebreak has meant that one of kind of the only other tree that's really burning properly around it doesn't have anything to spread to. The next two trees have been felled. So it looks like you've probably got this under control. So when Cal's back, we'll see what happens to him.
Oh my fucking god. How could Torek do this to him? Roland, I'm sorry.
The tree you're currently felling the top branches in, is he back? No?
Tack back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. So yeah, the tree you're currently felling branches in, Torek has just used his exoskeleton to push it over, so I'm going to need a dex saving throw.
Okay. Rulen does your wily coyote kind of thing, just
Yeah. Stays where he is as the tree falls, and then falls after.
Oh my fucking god, don't die!
The crackle of the flames hides the cracking of the branches and the trunk, Rulen. So as this tree falls, it kind of takes you entirely by surprise, and as you try and grab onto these branches, you don't quite make it. So you fall and kind of find yourself pinned under one of these burning branches. So you can take some bludgeoning damage from that. Okay, so you're going to take 6 bludgeoning damage there.
Is that fall damage?
No, that's bludgeoning damage from the tree landing on you.
That feature is literally never going to be any use to me whatsoever.
Exactly the feature you're talking about. I played a monk in my previous campaign as well.
I don't think I've used it once in the entire fucking campaign.
Oh, it's good. It just means you're cautious enough to not need to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Torek, as you kind of push this down and celebrate the exoskeleton once again, showing off its strength, you notice that Rulin is now pinned underneath this tree, and that the flaming branch is very, very close to him. He's going to be in danger.
Oh my god.
Help!
I'm gonna run over to where he is and try and lift up the tree enough for him to crawl out from under it.
Okay, I'm going to need an athletics from you.
Can I assist in that?
You can, yep, so do it at advantage, guy.
Cool. I'm using an armor charge that will raise my athletics to a +5.
Uh-huh.
Unnatural 20.
So you go in and get a good grip on this branch that's pinning Rulin. Braxton kind of comes in on the other side of him and also grabs it. And between you, you lift this tree just enough to allow Rulin to kind of wriggle free. And he pulls himself clear and kind of pats down the parts of his robe that are starting to get a bit singed.
Well, that does that, I suppose. Thank you for the help, Torek.
I am so sorry, I thought you climbed the other tree. Oh god, I think I need sleep. What's wrong with me? Why am I so dysfunctional? I think I need help.
Yes.
But in the meantime, crack.
Wait, the crack isn't help?
It's just what we're calling it now.
Yeah.
Torek's counselling. Okay, so with the fire under control and the Hibonite contained and buried, it seems that the pressing issues now are dealt with. And as a bonus, you've got a ready-made campfire of this fallen tree.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get some sleep. Torek, would you please summon up some health or something for me?
What was that, sorry?
I'm gonna get some sleep, but would you summon up some health for me or something? That damn stone blasted my head again.
Okay, yeah.
Use your hit dice.
Hmm.
Hit die.
Good plan. La, 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 la. I'm going to use 3 of my hit dice. Short rest.
Okay, so roll that up for me.
I'll use 1 during a short rest.
Okay.
I will also use one.
Yeah, I'll do one as well.
Okay, so take notes of how many hit dice you've expended.
Damn it.
So that's 12 health back and
12 health for Triss.
5 for Braxton.
5 for Braxton.
Rulin's back to maximum.
Rulin's back to maximum. Okay.
80. 80.
Torek is also back to maximum as he rolled 6. Right on the money.
Okay, so you guys get some sleep. Warm and toasty. So, yeah, having to leave the Hibonite where you've buried it, you kind of mark it with a few stones so it'll be obvious if you come back where this is kind of buried. So, onwards north to the Tildrish site.
Where perhaps we can find more fluorite. Maybe. DM, wink wink. Yeah. Do we need... No, we don't need to go to Bayford, yeah. Might as well carry on. Well, we've already gone past Bayford, I guess.
Okay. So, I'll give you a token, don't bother with that.
I was gonna label it secret stash number 1.
It'd be better if you labelled it like secret stash number 13. It turns out Tarek's just got like secret stashes all over. But he's numbered at number 30, but he doesn't know where any of the other 29 are.
It's just like a squirrel just buries Hibonite across a realm and just forgets about it.
In other news, Snordhammer has been caught ablaze.
Yeah, just random like fucking stories about people just randomly combusting as they're walking through the forest.
And Tarek's like, oh yes, that's where I buried it.
I like to think that Torek is like a squirrel, but for uranium.
Right, yep.
Okay, so you guys get back on the road. Torque, you're a little sad to leave it all behind.
It's still expelling heat in the morning, isn't it?
The ground is warm to the touch. It's not hot. The fluorite is clearly containing most of it. But it seems that there's a decent sized lump of hibernite now there, so it's got a lot of energy. And whilst half of it's being absorbed by the ground, you imagine there's still a potent dosage coming upwards. But yeah, you leave that behind and head north for a couple more days. Again, there is activity in the woods around you, but nothing attacks you on the way up. However, as you draw near the location marked on your map for this site, you begin to hear quite a lot of activity up ahead, quite a lot of noise. Kind of a sound of striking hard items against each other. A few shouts here and there.
Is it the sound of combat?
Hard to say at this distance, but it doesn't sound so. It's quite erratic. Yeah.
Like a really loud ruffle.
No, not quite. It's really hard to say what it sounds like.
The approach with caution.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check.
Yes, let's do that. 19.
19. So you kind of gesture for everybody to hold up. Cart pulls up to a gentle halt, and you dismount and sneak forward a little bit, making sure to use the kind of low shrubbery as good cover. And as you kind of push through, kind of forward to get a better view, you can start to see that there's appears to be a camp of some sort set up over this site, and you can see that there are a few kind of upright pillars that are clearly the ruins you're looking for. But yeah, there are a few tents strung up kind of around and amongst them. There seems to be quite a flurry of activity of people kind of coming and going around here. And as you get a little bit closer, the sound starts to distinguish itself as pickaxe on rock.
Okay.
It's kind of going with a fairly steady pace, but yeah, there's definitely something going on here.
The people moving around, the tents, etc. Can I identify what type of people they are?
From their stature, you reckon they're humans, mostly.
Are there guards around?
It seems like there's a couple, but they don't particularly seem to be too heavily guarded. It's like a handful of guards around this camp, and they seem to be fairly, they're not paying massive amounts of attention, not as alert as they could be.
What sort of equipment do they have? I'm trying to get the idea. Does it look like it could be any of Alistair's people?
So, from what you can tell, most of these foot soldiers are wearing half plate and carrying something that resembles a halberd.
Any sigils or anything like that? Say,
Hard to say about sigils, but the kind of the livery is blue and white.
would that be part of this?
It would be.
Okay. I'll make my way back to inform the others. It could be some kind of archaeological expedition, maybe. It could be. It could be from Bayford itself, or I suppose we won't really know unless we go and introduce ourselves. The very least.
I see no harm in that. We have no bad relations with the Parthunians. Would that what they would be?
Parthenesians?
Parthenites?
Parthenites, I like that.
Crispy likes that. Crispy likes that. That is now the official term.
They're a mythical creature. I can call them what I want.
Is there a leader called Archer? Parthenites.
Okay, so yeah, you guys listen to what Rulin describes. And yeah, it does seem like they are Parthunians.
Which was that Toy Soldiers reference?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
It took me a while.
Leader of the Gorgonites.
I thought so. No one got it.
I was muted.
Okay, so we'll approach peacefully, openly.
Weapons drawn. Let's go, boys.
Havel runs up screaming.
That's just how I see it.
Not even a war cry, just screams of anguish.
Oh, it's like Radio Havel. Isn't this nice?
So as you kind of come out of the woods, kind of along this road, so it's not completely suspicious. One of the guards kind of spots you quite clearly and lowers his halberd. Like, halt! Come forward! Be identified.
We'll walk forward. So do we confirm now as well that they are indeed like soldiers of Parthunus?
They're definitely wearing the right equipment for that.
Show them your brooch. See if they recognise it.
So as you guys come out of the woods and he gets a better view of you, he seems to lower his guard a bit as he realises you're not a dwarven raiding party.
Greetings. Good morning.
Well, good morning. It's not often we get a traveller coming by, let alone a group. What business have you out here?
Actually, we've got business with this temple right here.
Oh, are you from the academy too?
Not quite. We do have some relations with the archaeological society. We know a few people from the academy.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but this temple's, I'm afraid, it's off limits to civilians. The society's made it pretty clear they're deeming this one of the biggest finds in recent memory. Can't have any old tourists coming and having a gander.
Well, we're not any old tourists, believe me. I'll pull out the pin that was given by King Gustav. We are trusted friends to the king.
He clearly recognises this. That's good, but I'm afraid still this is an expedition sponsored by the Archaeological Society. It's not a matter of state, I'm afraid. So you'll have to talk to the chief and see if he's happy with you being here.
Okay, we'll do that. Where is the chief then?
He kind of points you in a direction, kind of leading in between some of these pillars and the tents. He's in the center of the dig. You'll want to be careful though. Some of the ground's giving way in places. Apparently, it goes quite deep. You can't miss him. He likes to make himself heard.
Tarek, get up front. Or, I don't know. Any idea? Does that sound familiar?
What? Sorry, I was crafting this. Braces are harder than they look. They're surprisingly intricate in their crafting design. Have we arrived?
Rulin leads
Yes.
the way.
Tarek, it appears your friends from the Academy of Bayford beat us here. We've already set up shop.
Oh well, that's unfortunate. Onward to
Uh,
Eventide then.
No. Let's go and talk to the chief of the dig.
Oh,
Perhaps you know him.
I hope not.
Well, wander over and try and find him.
Yeah. I suppose I should come along with you. Oh no, it's just going to be.
Something tells me a lot of the people here probably don't want to see Tarek either.
So you
I'll
guys,
step out from my cart and see if like anyone gets a reaction out of seeing me.
you kind of wander into this camp, and you can see lots of these guys are clearly labourers coming and going around, transporting barrows full of dirt and loose rubble up out of this dig site. But as you approach the centre of the activity, you can kind of hear quite a shrill voice, kind of shouting directions. No, you there! No, not that one! Up the other ramp! You'll get in the way! And Ruin, you follow this voice and see a quite a self-important looking gnome. He's not facing you, he's looking into this pit, shouting instructions, but he's quite well dressed. You can see he's got kind of a fairly full head of ginger hair and ginger beard from the looks of it. But as you approach, he kind of hears the footsteps and turns around. Looks at you for a little bit, but then he catches eyes at Torek. You crook! What the hell are you doing here? Says Falnir to you, Torek.
Stole my life's work.
You broke up for like the first half of that?
I said crook. I was going for more like a, the Frenchman from Blackadder season 3. Hippopotamus! Ha!
Honestly, it's bad enough that you stormed off from the academy without even having the grace to co-sign my papers. And now you come back here, let me guess, to try and steal credit for my latest dig. Well, too late. I funded this myself. I'm not letting you get the credit this time, Torek. My work will be recognised.
Oh, I'm sure it will, Falnir. How many of these digs have you managed to find, may I ask?
That's none of your business. You're not a fellow anymore.
Is that right? Have I been expelled? Absent too long? Missed enough lectures?
You were discommunicated when you burnt down the new West Wing.
Wasn't entirely my fault.
It was. You were the only person in there. It was a Sunday, for Christ's sake. We'd all gone home.
The entire forest doesn't really seem so bad now, I suppose.
Did I burn down the West Wing?
You burnt down the West Wing.
Oh.
He doesn't even remember doing it.
Can anybody smell intervention?
Well, so
No, that'd be faintly lavender you can smell.
Oh, that's what that smell is.
so you two know each other.
Yes. This is Falnir, everyone. Childhood friend, and now, well, what would you call us, Falnir? Rivals?
Well, I'd first of all call me Professor Falmir, thank you very much.
Oh, Professor Falnir. Or it's gonna just have like no dignity in this moment.
Well, unlike some here, I actually finished my doctorate.
So we don't have to continue calling him Dr. Torek anymore then.
Sister, you did!
At what point did you start calling him that?
I will not comment.
I've only ever insisted you call me by my adventuring name.
Wait, what's your adventuring name?
Torek.
Oh yeah, I
I think I did write down his name once. I can't remember what it was.
remember. I ran out of paper.
Just love this idea that nobody actually knows Torek's name. It's just like his alias. He's
Even Torek had to see his notebook.
Actually, know this guy.
That's another one of those pieces
His
of knowledge.
name's
that Torek
Cornelius,
talking about.
technically.
Didn't even join the Shattered Fang. He just showed up one day. We just let him carry on.
Couldn't really get rid of him.
I just kind of lingered until they gave me a badge.
Yeah, no, nobody knows who he is. He's just there.
It's only out of respect for what you once were that I haven't had the guards come and get you out here kicking and screaming. And now I'm going to give you the chance to quietly walk away and keep what little of your dignity you have left.
Well, now that won't be necessary.
Oh, I think it will.
Oh, I don't know about that. Tarek may have some information that could help you with this dig. We
Yes,
have
I'm not giving him shit.
We may have some information that could help you with this dig. We are
But not.
familiar with some of these temples, and we could exchange information.
Do it.
You will allow us to take a look inside.
Please don't do it.
Tarek, do you want to get inside the temple or not?
So,
Torek, we need to get inside the temple.
Rylan, he kind of eyes you slyly here and, I see what this is. This is a shakedown, isn't it? If you can't get in with your silver tongue, so you think, Tori, you think your cronies will be able to intimidate me. Ha! Well, no, I have the Academy's own guards with me here. Guards! Guards! A few of the halberdiers kind of stand up from a game of cards nearby and start to make their way over. I want you to take this dome and his associates and put them very far away from here. Okay, boss. We'll.
Triss is going to
Just-
step up. No. That won't be happening.
Are you?
Triss is going to sidle up to him and get, like, seriously into his face. Or as much as she can, considering she's super freaking short.
Well, I mean, this guy's a gnome, so.
Oh, right! Well, she can loom over him a bit then. That's great.
Okay.
Is your cloak billowing?
Uh-huh. I think you're going to let us join. If we're kind to each other, we can share some information. Everybody benefits. If you make us go, things might get a little bit more difficult.
Get it up, Triss. His head is thicker than pig shit.
So
She's gonna
you're
repeat-
trying to intimidate him.
Yeah, she's going to repeat the last sentence. She's going to do it telepathically as well.
Okay, so roll that intimidation for me.
Is it with advantage with the cloak?
Yes, because you've got your cloak billowing behind you.
That is sick.
Ooh. Let me just quickly double check what my plus is on that. Da, 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 da. Intimidation. So that's plus 5. What was that? Is it 20, 22?
22.
24? I don't know. It's in the 20s somewhere.
You obviously see the shock register as this, this is kind of echoed into his mind directly. Witch! Gods! Save me! He kind of just turns tail and kind of flees behind his guards and kind of, grabs one of them, holds behind his leg, and kind of points and gestures at you, Tris. That one! She's evil!
That's really quite rude.
The two guards, kind of a little bit surprised, step forward and, try to keep this civil as best I can. Sorry, I'm going to need you all to come with me. We can't have you causing trouble around here.
We're not here to cause any trouble. The trouble is simply a misunderstanding between these two gnomes. We are only here, strictly, on academic purposes, not the purposes of the academy necessarily, but we all have the same goal here. We seek to understand what's inside the temple. We have prior knowledge of these temples. We've visited quite a few of them before. If we could all just calm down and discuss it like civilized folk, perhaps we can come to an arrangement when we can help each other.
The guards kind of cast a look back to the gnome, kind of almost waiting for his approval. But he just kind of keeps his mouth shut and shakes his head. As he's doing this, one of the workers kind of comes out from the pit and kind of leans down next to him and whispers something into his ear. This kind of seems to focus his attention pretty sharpish. What do you mean they won't dig? I'm sorry, sir. The workers they're refusing to go any further. They say they're hearing noises down there. That's preposterous. Tell them to keep working, or they won't get paid.
What kind of noises are they hearing?
That's none of your business.
Well, maybe
I'm talking to you.
if they aren't digging, we would be willing to do the digging.
No, we'd be willing to look at the noises.
Roland!
Rich kid doesn't want to do manual labor.
Exactly.
Tris is going to shout inside Roland's head. Give him whatever the mental equivalent is of stamping on his foot.
We have, like I said, we've been in a few of these temples before. There are all sorts of contraptions and there's all manner of creatures that may have made their home these past few centuries that the temples have been abandoned. Could be all kinds of nasty things down there, or I'm saying this now kind of in earshot of a lot of the workers. They're all kinds of horrendous creatures that can disembowel a man and liquefy your eyes right out of your skull. And just trying to make it sound as fucking terrifying as possible.
Tris is suddenly thinking about handing Roland the cloak.
It's more of a deception, I guess, than an actual intimidation. But
Yeah, that's. I'd say that is deception. Go ahead and roll me one of those.
okay. Uh, 13.
Well, that might be bullshit, but there could be traps.
What is it fooling the workers?
If you can see a few of them are kind of, looking at each other, like thinking, is their pay really worth this?
Yeah.
But Falmer, he's kind of thinking about this. Okay, I'll tell you what. You can look into these noises on the condition that whatever chambers you may walk into, Tarek walks in first. There would be any traps set off. We don't want anyone important getting hurt.
I think we can agree to that.
Oh, can we now? You're a real piece of work, Falnir.
So, Falmer, will you be coming down with us to
Oh,
investigate?
good heavens, no. I'm here to supervise.
Okay. Well, we'll be on our way then.
Don't
Very
forget
well,
to listen out for any ideas to plagiarise, Falnir.
Oh, well, you just don't go looking through my notebooks then, Tarek.
Well, maybe you. I can imagine there's just like a shouting match of just the little things they do. Just like, maybe you'll remember to leave the toilet seat up and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that of the sound of all the scholarships I've won.
Scholarships? I'm so important. My name's Fabian.
Falmir lunges at you, Tarek, and starts pulling your mustache tips.
He's not used to fighting, is he?
No, clearly not.
Torik's gonna fight back equally pathetically, like, "Oh, you little bitch!" Just like slap him or something.
So the rest of you watch as these two gnomes collapse into a very small pile and just start, biting, gouging, pulling hair.
Havel's gonna nudge one of the
Roll
closest guards to him and just be like, 2 gold on the my one.
He kind of nods in agreement there. So, Guy, we're going to do some grappling.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Best of 3 contested strength rolls, if you will.
Sure. First one. Strength is just flat for me, so.
It's also actually a -1 for him, so that's 12.
Oh my god.
So he wins it.